What's going on, guys? It's Jeremiah Cregan back with another tutorial video for you. Today we're going to be doing a low skin fade. Let's get right into it. So I'm going to grab my 2-guard, put the lever on open, and we're going to start debulking some of this hair. I'm going right up to the crown of the head with this, and if you notice, I'm not following the shape of his head. I'm coming up and out. So straight up, and if anything, I'm coming out at the end a little bit, kind of flicking. But we're really just debulking, clearing out all this hair to give us a nice canvas to start our fade. Again, I want to cut the hair at different directions, keep combing the hair down, trying to make sure it's all going the same way and going against the grain to really make sure that I get all the hair to cut the same length. Alright, we're going to go ahead and close that lever. And we're going to go right up and stay underneath the 2 open that we just did. So again, just coming out, flicking into that previous guideline. Again, you can see I'm cutting the hair different directions, making sure that it's all even. Just really cleaning out the bulk and getting that canvas ready to put a nice clean fade in there. Our 1.5 guard, and we're going to put the lever on open, and we're going to go up and flick into the section we just did with the 2 guard closed. I'm using my FX Babulous clippers. Just actually designed these custom ones on the app. Really cool process. I've never done anything like that before, but super happy overall. Got the fade blade on there, the graphite fade blade. And I'm just going back through now with the 1.5 guard closed and working right underneath the 1.5 open. So slowly fading that hair down and making sure there's a nice smooth transition there. Doing the same thing on the other side, 1.5 closed, combing the hair down, making sure that it's all going the same direction, making sure it's all even. That part is right, long hair staying on the top and short hair on the bottom here. You can clip the hair, you know, sometimes I put a clip in it if someone's doing a comb over like this and I'm fading the bottom, but in this case I didn't. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and put our initial guideline in with the 0. So I got the clipper closed with no guard. I'm just drawing in where I want that initial guideline. I don't always draw it in, but especially on low fades, I like to do it. It keeps me true to my guideline a little bit more. And I'm just going to clear out any of the hair that's underneath that. Alright, let's grab our trimmers. I'm using the Babulous FX Gold trimmer, which is an awesome trimmer. I really never thought I'd switch out from the Andis T outliners, but these trimmers are amazing. Definitely my favorite tool that I've tried from Babulous. So we're going to go ahead and clear out all this hair, and I'm flicking into, just flicking underneath where that initial guideline is. I don't want to go into it, but I want to stay right underneath it and have a smooth transition. And I'll grab the shaver and gonna clear that out, get it as close as we can so we can have the most contrast in our fade from skin into the hair. Sometimes I create the line. I'll create a line even if I'm flicking out with that shaver, and the way that a lot of people can get it out is to tap down on that line with the shaver. Instead of flicking up, you can tap down on it and that line should fade right out. Brushing the hair off, keeping my workspace clean. That's something I stress to my barbers a lot, is you want to keep your workspace clean so you can actually see what you're fading. You see a lot of people who are doing a fade and there's hair all over the client's head. You want to try to stay away from that. Alright, so I'm going to grab my one guard, put the lever open, and I'm just going to go up and get that section right underneath the 1.5 close that we did, and I'm just flicking up into it. So I want that transition from, our initial 2.5 or the 2 open, either way you want to say it, the 2 open, fading down into our initial guideline. So one guard, open lever, going in, cleaning it out. You want to keep brushing the hair down, making sure it's going the same direction so that when you cut, you get a nice even cut. And close that lever, and we're gonna go up and just work right underneath the 1 open that we just did. So you can see I'm just clearing out right underneath that and prepping this haircut for a clean fade. Brushing the hair down as we have been the whole time, keeping the workspace clean, one guard closed. Alright, so we're going to take the guard off. So we got no guard on the clipper, and I got it on open, and we're just going to start to fade out that initial guideline that we put in. With this, I like to use the corner of the blade a lot, cutting the hair in different directions, and we really just want to start to get that initial guideline out. You'll see here that I pull the skin tight with my thumb. You can see I'm pulling the skin up. What that does is it helps the hair stand up straight and allows you to get a really clean cut on the hair. But you'll notice when you let it down that the fade will look a little different. So when you do let it down, you want to make adjustments as needed to make sure that the fade doesn't look great when you have the skin pulled, but looks not as great when you let it go. So it's a good tool and technique to use when you're fading to pull the skin tight, but you want to make sure that it looks just as good afterwards as well. So you can see we're going around to the back here. I like to extend the fade a little bit in the back. You get a little bit of a shadow a lot of the times on clients. So I make the space that I'm doing this open, the clipper open, a little bit bigger on the back of the head. Now I'm just doing the same thing that I did on the other side to this side, flicking that initial guideline out. So now I go ahead and close the clipper, and I'm just going to make sure there's no lines or imperfections in the fade. You can really see the fade starting to come together. flicking the wrist, using the corner of the blade. Any dark spots that I see, I'm going to go in and touch up with the corner. I got my half guard on now. I got it on open. I'm just going through to see what it cuts. So I'll always start with it open, or most of the time anyway. Start with the half guard open, start to touch up stuff. If it's not cutting, I can always close it a little bit like I just did there. And I'll work through that all the way until I have the half guard closed. And, you know, just going back through and kind of detailing the fade. And again, you'll see me use the corner of the blade a lot. The details are what really makes the fade stand out. So you want to make sure that when you're going back through with the half guard that you really get that blend to come to life. You know, you want to make sure that there's a nice contrast between the skin at the bottom and the hair that you're fading into. So we're going to do some clipper over comb. I'm just going to take off some of the hair that's hanging over the edge. I'm just really creating the shape right now, not cutting anything crazy into it. Just I have the base of the comb touching the client's head most of the time. I'm just cutting the hair that goes through the teeth. Combing the hair down and then going back up through it. So I'm going to go ahead and edge the temple here. I want to be mindful not to push his hairline back. I'm just trying to create the most natural edge that I can. And I'm going to do the same on the C cup right here. Just using the corner of that trimmer, almost like it's a pencil, just drawing in my line right there. Being soft with my hand. I don't want to be too heavy-handed and mark anyone up, but just outlining that edge. I'm gonna go ahead and wet the hair down, and I'm gonna do a kind of like a horseshoe section here. Get all that hair on the sides and the back out of the way. Really just focusing on the top. So I'm gonna create a guideline in the middle. Comb the hair on the sides out of the way, and that's going to be my guideline that I base the entire top of the head off of. So I got my middle section here, using the fine end tooth of the taper comb, pulling the hair tight, and I'm going to start putting in my guideline here. Grab a little bit more, match it up to our guideline, trim that off as well. So I'm going to start going at horizontal sections now, and using that vertical guideline that I made in the middle to follow throughout the entirety of the rest of the cut. And I'm just going to slowly work my way from the back of the head to the fringe in the front. Same on the other side. So again, just matching up those sides to the middle that we put our guideline in. So I want to make sure everything's nice and even. And I'll pull the hair from the top over to the side, making a square shape and just cutting any extra hair that lays over the top of that. And I'll follow that right around to the back of the head. So we'll grab our blow dryer here, and I'm just taking my vent brush, curling that hair towards the blow dryer, and kind of initial styling of it before I put any product in. Making sure I like the way that it's laying, the length of it, all that. So he wanted a hard part, so we're gonna go ahead and put our hard part in. You can see I'm combing the hair out of the way on the top. You can put a clip in it. Again, I didn't this in particular time. Sometimes I do, but for this case I did not. I'm putting a line on the bottom of the hard part right now. So I'll do the top as well, but I'm going down on the hard part right now, and then I'll go up on the hard part after. I'm using short motions, tiny, just tapping where I want the hair to be cleared out. You don't want to press too hard on someone's head. This is usually pretty sensitive skin, or sensitive parts of the skin. It's not used to being hit with clippers like that, that are, that close of cutting clippers anyway, trimmers in this case. So you want to be gentle with it, but you still want to make sure that you get a nice crispy line and clear that hard part out. So I'll flip the trimmer upside down here, or right side up I should say, and we'll put that line on the top of the hard part now. Not making the hard part too wide. Be careful not to do that. But you do want to make a line on both edges of the hard part. So we'll go ahead and shave him. We got our lather on, and we're just gonna clear out all the hair on the neck and get some nice clean edges on the temple and the C-cup area. I like to go against the grain like I am here, clear it out and get the cleanest line I possibly can. Pulling the skin tight with my thumb, you guys will notice. You always want to pull the skin tight when you're shaving. So we'll dust them off. Pretty much done here. So here's the before, guys. Check out the after. Low to mid skin fade, combed over. Hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. We'll be back with another tutorial video coming soon. We'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.